What's up, everybody? Russ the Muss here. We're gonna doing another, I guess, rant video. I'll say, I mean, I'm not trying to copy John Garinger. I'm not trying to do rant of the week or nothing because that's just too cool. The only difference is I don't backtrack. Anyway, sorry. I love John Garinger. Just a little shot. Just kidding around. Okay. I think today in this video we would discuss a topic that's a little squeamish for people, but I'm going to talk about it because I'm just the king of making people feel awkward. Here we go. Today we're going to talk about podcasts. Ooh. And right now my wife is behind the camera shaking her head. No, don't do that. Here's the thing. Podcasts. Transformers podcast, toy podcasts, podcasts about Game of Thrones, podcasts about every movie you can think of. I mean, it's crazy. There's podcasts for everything, right? We and a lot of people in our community and in our collecting community, we just take in this content because, boy, it's good stuff, right? They talk about our favorite shows, our favorite toys, our favorite everything. But what's really hilarious is there's so many out there. And at what point are you watching the same thing over and over again? Toy podcasts come to mind. There are a lot of toy podcasts out there that I feel are duplicates, and I am not mentioning the name of any podcast. So right away, I'm not doing that because I know I'll get subjected to hate mail, and I just don't want to deal with that hate mail. Not that I'm afraid of it, but I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not commenting I'm not going to call anyone out. I'm not going to and I'm not putting anyone down. I love every show we have in the Cool Table Network. Okay. The reason why I love the shows in the Cool Table Network, and I'll use them as a perfect example of what's right about podcasting, is because it's a variety. There's different shows. Shows are not duplicates of one another. We all do different things. Like with James and myself and Charles and Trent, and then any of the other fanatics that join us on Saturday nights, we do a show where we have a certain way we go about things. Like everyone, there's a certain, we do our intros, we do our hauls, we, at the same time, then we go into our TV show news, and we go into our toy news, and then and then the blast from the past, which is probably everyone's favorite part of the show. Is James does such a good job with those things, and they're fantastic, right? We learn a lot. And then we have our discussion segment, toward after the blast from the past is when we talk about all the crazy shit we want to talk about, And it's a good formula. It works. Now, granted, we do have marathon shows sometimes because we have a lot of content that we go over. Because we don't just talk about Transformers on Plastic Fanatics. We talk about plastic overall. We talk about all of it. So we're kind of a show that stands out because we're not just stuck on the whole Transformer thing. We talk about everything and we go over everything. Now, other shows like SCU, they also go over everything. They talk about a lot of different things, but they are primarily a Transformer show, okay? And it's a great show because they've got a good camaraderie with one another. All the shit talking that goes on, it's good stuff, it's great, And that's why that they have a good formula that it works, right? ETR is the same thing. It's kind of a group of guys that get together and bullshit around. They don't, sometimes they'll go over news, toy news. Sometimes they'll go over, but they don't always do that. They change up. Nowadays it seems like they change up their show a lot. And they don't have one set formula. Again, it's all about making yourself different in some way, right? Then you got building up to it. One of the newcomers to the network, they're a Lego show. We don't have another Lego show in the network that's epic, right? Because Legos, let's be honest, they're fucking cool, okay? If you were a kid and you didn't like Legos, something was fucking wrong with you. There was I'm sorry to say, but there was. Legos were badass, all right? And they still are cool. And then we've got a stasis lock. I mean, let's be honest. I know a lot of us like me. I mean, I look at Beast Wars and I go, yeah, okay, who gives a shit, right? But I do remember I watched a little bit of Beast Wars, and there is a chunk of our community that are fans of Beast Wars, and I know Anna's behind the camera right now, calling what? Yeah, okay, but there are so. I guess the point I'm making is every show has its reasoning. Now, other shows out there are other Transformers podcasts that are not in our network, okay? That are, and I'm not gonna, so, I'll call out shows in the network that I think are awesome and they do it right. There are shows outside of the network that I think are a little they're stale, if you will, because it's the same old, okay? Boring. They've been doing it forever. Maybe somebody will understand what show I'm talking about in particular when I say the granddaddy of them all, if you will. That's what they call themselves. They call themselves the original first one. I mean, I'm sure that's enough clues without calling them out. Anyway, you watch that show, and you actually, I mean, not that it's not a terrible show. It's good. It's just, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Nothing different happens on the show. It's the same stuff. They go over, they have the same segments at the same time. It's almost like you're watching a clone of a show. The only thing is they change up the topic. The Transformer figures they might talk about are a little bit different, or they talk about but it's always the same format constantly, to where it's nothing changes. In fact, you could probably listen to some episodes and it'll say the same thing at the exact same time on the video, okay, or the show. I mean, but they're not the only ones. There's lots of shows, not just Transformers or toy shows. There's all the shows out there that there's so many. I feel like we're saturated with podcasts now, and I think that it's time for us to as consumers of this all this great medium and this great this great content. We need to be a little more pickier about what we're watching at times, because I think you can get burned out. I feel like you can get burned out from watching podcasts. I know I got tired of them for a while, and I mean I had to take a break for a while. I took a break and I stepped away from a lot of stuff for a little bit, for a few months, and watching and listening to podcasts was one of the things I had to walk away from and stop doing for a while, because I got so saturated with the stuff that I was like, oh geez, I did start to feel like I was watching the same thing or listening to the same thing over and over again. So we're at a point where time is important to all of us. It's precious, and I think we need to take advantage of our time and spend it wisely. If you want to invest in good shows, I suggest checking out the Cool Table Network. I know everyone's like, oh, it's like a big Cool Table Network commercial on this video. I don't mean it to be that way, but I feel like we've got a great assortment of shows that aren't exact duplicates of one another. We got a lot of cool stuff in the ROC. We've got a website in the ROC that's really awesome, with bloggers that people are actually working hard and they're writing stuff. I can't write worth a shit. My wife can, and yes, she is a contributor to that, and she does. She's written quite a few pieces, and they're good. It's good stuff. They're not always long. They're short stuff. They're short. You can usually read them within like 5 minutes and be done with it. It's easy to do, and it's good, and it's really cool content. There's so many different ways of getting content in all the communities, and I think I think we all need to start really taking advantage of some of this stuff and really enjoying it. And once again, I'm not trying to put anyone down, anyone's show down. I think all the shows are good. We all work hard. Everyone works hard. The one show that I do now, I try to contribute. I send James ideas if I have, and see if because you have to have someone who's running the show. Okay, I'm not talented enough to run the show. I don't do that. Otherwise, I'd have my own show. I don't do that. I'm just one of them dopes that comes and hangs out and talks shit. That's what I am. I'm the shit talker of the show. But if I have an idea, James has always said, shoot me. If you have an idea, shoot it to me. Let me know what's going on. We can always talk. If we can't fit it in this one, we'll fit it in later. We always do that stuff. We talk. There's communication that does happen. So we can, and I know it's hard work. I've seen the stuff that James does. It's very hard work. And a lot of people put hard work into their shows. And I think it's wonderful. I'm just saying that we should all be a little more pickier maybe about what we're watching sometimes, and what we're listening to, because I feel like we have so many options now. It's easy to get caught up with listening to the same show. You think it's two different shows, but it's actually the same show. You're like, wow, what happened there? You know, so you know, and not all podcasts are great. There are some that are kind of ugh, you know, but hey, that's why as it's we have the option as consumers to say, nah, I'll listen to that. I will say, never listen to a show because you feel a loyalty to it. Don't ever do that. If you want to contribute to a show in a way where you want to listen to it and you want to and you want to be part of that, that's great. But do it because you want to. Don't do it because you feel a loyalty to it. To do it, don't ever do that. Always enjoy content because you enjoy the content. Screw that shit, man. Don't let no motherfucker ever try to say, well, you should really support it. No, the fuck you shouldn't support it. If you don't like it, don't support it. If you like it, support it. That's great. But don't ever think you have to, because that's crap. And I mean, I've had some people telling me that shit one time, and I years ago, and I was starting to get into all these podcasts. And you should really, really listen to that show and support them, because, you know, I said, no, I don't like the show. Why the fuck should I support it for? So then you gotta say, don't do that. Really listen to these shows and watch these shows because you want to. That's it. All right. And so that's about it. I think I got my point out on that. I mean, you know, as always, subscribe, please. Give me some subscriptions. I don't give a shit about monetization. Fuck YouTube. They can kiss my ass. I'm all about, you know, I do this for fun. I don't care. I don't make, you know, I've only got like 20 or 30, something like that, subscribers anyway. Hell, if anyone listens to my video, anyone watches my video, I'm like, woohoo! I get one view and I'm excited. So, I mean, seriously, you know, and you know what, that YouTube stuff, I will talk about that in another video down the road that's coming up. Because I've got a problem with the behavior of some YouTubers out there with all this shit going down. But we'll get into that later. But yeah. So anyway, check out the Cool Table Network. I know it's another now it's an advertising. Check out all our shows. You know, ETR. Plastic Fanatics, the only show on Saturday night, of course. You know, we got SCU. You know, I mean, Breaking the Mold. We've got we've got tons of good content out there. You know, I mean, just Nerd Rage Radio, fantastic show. My wife actually got me back into Nerd Rage Radio. I kind of got out of it for a while and stopped listening to it for a while. She told me about a good show they did. I started listening to it, and I fell back in love with those guys again. So I'm back on the Nerd Rage Radio again. Even I bounce in and out of shows on the Cool Table Network, so I won't lie, but I come back to them and check them out, and you know, my wife turns me back on, and there you go. As always, check out the Rumble Collector's website. Great blogs, good stuff going on there. Always cool. There's artwork done. There's pictures, photos. Everything's great, man. You know, and just by all means, just enjoy all the content, because that's what it is all about. Enjoying it. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Right? Have a great Saturday, guys. Peace out to all of you. Adios.